call them, and the Navy. As a matter of fact, this system can, of course, vary, but is still consistent throughout every military force, and for that matter, any people across the planet. Well, the next step beyond the conventional uniform, though, is winter weather gear. Another solution, and again very economical right now because the government is going away from wool, and why we're embracing it very quickly, is the old M1952, M1954, and the 1956 series wool uniforms. In this case, a 2-pocket top, standard button configuration long sleeve, with a set of pants with adjustable waistband. These are an excellent winter system, and in all cases, they also come with the capability to accept liners. So you're looking at an insular layer with another insular layer attached to it. Now, one of the reasons for adopting a layer system, even though there are many sophisticated technologies that are on hand right now within clothing, is that as need be, you can ventilate and cool or take layers off as your labors increase and as temperature increases to eliminate the possibility of sweat and building up moisture, which will freeze later if not properly addressed. The other consideration is the fact that while certainly some of the new technology will not load as quickly with human body oils and sweat, they still load nonetheless. Loading is when the different oils and material, such as water or body moisture, saturate the fabric and eventually becomes unserviceable with regard to thermal protection. Even though many of the different technologies, such as Gore-Tex, etc., are very desirable, even they load within a specific period of time. And one of the biggest problems that we're seeing is, again, replacement in the field. These pieces of equipment can be addressed, can be shelled off, cleaned, and then reapplied as needed, so that at no given time are you bare to the wind, shall we say. One of the other types of technologies, of course, and again drawing from the East Germans, because again, a very economical system, very desirable, very well made, are the quilted pattern winter gear that they have provided through, again, this defunct tyranny that presently is just joining up with the rest of the New World Order tyranny crowd. This is an insular top, and in addition to that, of course, along with the fur-lined neck, which is detachable, by the way, we also have a quilted pants system, cuffable at the base, and this type of system is, again, very desirable. It matches most of the contours and the patterns and, of course, environments of the brownout season of winter across the United States. It is, of course, a very desirable pattern for pine forest operations, and there are many parts of the nation where you virtually disappear with this particular camouflage pattern in place. Now, again, these systems can be overlapped one on top of the other to offer an excellent thermal cover to protect against the elements. Not always are we running around on the battlefield. Remember, at certain times you have to stand in place. Now, for that reason, we must also consider that beyond these layers, we may have to alter camouflage configurations accordingly. And there are many different types of technology, but in this case, we're switching to West Germany, where we find the pine frond snow camouflage pattern is readily available. Solid white can be used, and in fact is used regularly by the militia, but breaking up the pattern is very desirable since for the most part we don't plan on being caught in the middle of a field. Preferably we should be working in an environment or a situation where the colors are broken up, therefore the pattern of the equipment you're using probably should be broken up too. While the pants are an overshell made out of cotton, there is also a poncho cover or coat cover made of the same material, and again in the pine frond pattern, which is random and broken up. And this particular system is an effective form of camouflage in the Michigan and, of course, all of the northern temperate areas, readily available and very economical. I will recommend something, though. If all you have are bed sheets and you wish to simulate this, a wetted brush that is dried to a medium level, then dipped in the paint of your choice, can then be brushed onto any white material to simulate this pattern, and can be done with a little practice almost as well as the spray-on technology that was used to make this particular pattern in the first place by one of the governments in question. Beyond the snow camouflage shell, which all of you are very familiar with in different patterns again, there's American, German, Russian, and a whole family of technology in this area made available now. We still have to consider the face and, of course, the hands which are exposed. You may have remembered this from Equipping for the New World Order Part 1, Spandaflage. This particular material can be purchased in a variety of different colors and configurations. This is the face hood, which, as you will notice, will spread and stretch to the needs and the size of the head of the wearer. One of the big advantages of this material is also to be used with glasses. Now, it's recommended with the original manufacturers that you can cut eye holes in this material, but it's not necessary in order for it to be effectively used. What this is a stretchable gauze. Now, myself, I have glasses to worry about, so I also have to worry about reflection. And there are chemical treatments for the glasses that you normally would be wearing, but if you don't have the luxury of that technology, you can cover the glasses, along with the rest of your face, with a spandaflage and still effectively see through it and function within reasonable parameters. In addition to that, of course, we're talking about head covers next to go along with this, and of course we're seeing the standard goggles put in place. In this case, an M1943 hat. There are many different variations. We really don't need to get into specifically what headgear, but whenever possible, try to choose temperate weather headgear for most of your operations. Why? Even in the desert, it gets cold. And the important consideration here is to have the capability to cover the ears, which are a vulnerable area, and also wrap around the back of the head and the back base of the neck. This particular hat is very simple, again, very economical, made overseas, and it's lightly quilted, leather sweatband, and with a brow piece. The brim is very important, especially for, again, sun protection. The goggles can easily be secured up above, out of the way, and as demonstrated earlier, are an essential item for most of the operations that you are going to be participating in. Now, while many people consider different devices tools, I consider the scarf to be one of those. There are so many different things that can be done with it, and I know this one's in gray. They can be in green, blue, yellow, pink. Well, actually, you do want a camouflage color now, don't you? This particular device, though, can be used as a pillow in the field, a tourniquet, any one of 100 different uses. It's at your discretion that you carry one, but I would recommend it, especially in winter operations, to cover all those little nooks and crannies that are normally not protected in a winter environment with some of the other clothing. Now we'll get to the other important part of the body in the upper torso, the